Welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? That pit in your stomach when you realize the next hour or the next interview feels like a total make or break moment.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there. It feels like this is your one shot.
Your one shot. It might be for a dream job, or maybe it's the only callback you've had in months. And that little voice in your head just starts screaming, "Do not mess this up."
And that right there is the
Yeah.
problem. That whole way of thinking, the pressure that comes from that one-shot mindset is often the very thing that, well, causes the exact outcome you're afraid of.
So today we're going to get into that. The goal here isn't just to say, hey, just be calm, because we all know that doesn't work when you're panicking.
Right, it never works. No, we're talking about real actionable strategies, how to handle that pressure without, totally freaking out, how to slow everything down and focus on what actually matters in that room.
Okay, so let's start with the big one. This whole idea of the one-shot myth. I mean, it feels so real in the moment. Opportunities can feel rare. The market is tough.
It feels real because your brain is magnifying the importance of it. It correctly identifies that this is important, but it incorrectly labels it as final.
That's a great distinction. Important versus final.
Exactly. The truth is, it's almost never your only chance. One interview, one presentation. It rarely defines a whole career. There are always other doors, even if you can't see them right now.
And we're not trying to say this opportunity doesn't matter. It does, but it's about releasing that paralyzing desperation.
That's the paradox, isn't it? The pressure paradox. When you think everything is riding on this one moment, your body tenses up, your thinking gets really narrow, and all the good stuff, creativity, active listening, it just evaporates.
You're just radiating need at that point.
You are. Desperation is a terrible thing to bring to an interview. When you can let go of that a little bit, you actually perform better. You're more present.
So what's the practical reframe here? When your brain is screaming, this is my only chance, what do you say back?
You have to consciously substitute it. You stop and you tell yourself, this is one chance and I'm going to give it my best.
One chance.
Just feel the difference between those two phrases. Only chance is so heavy, it's crushing. One chance it's focused. It's about your actions, not the uncontrollable outcome.
Okay, I love that. But let's be real, reframing a thought is hard when your heart is already racing and your palms are sweating. So let's get into the in-the-moment tools, the physiological stuff.
Right. How do you manage your body when it's screaming danger? The fastest way to do that is with controlled breathing.
And not just, take a deep breath. There's a specific technique.
A very specific one, yeah. It's the 4-4-6 method.
Okay, 4-4-6. So inhale for 4.
You inhale for a count of 4, you hold that breath for 4, and then, and this is the most important part, you exhale slowly for a count of 6.
Longer on the exhale. Why is that the key?
Because that long exhale actually stimulates your vagus nerve. That's the main line to your body's calming system. You're basically sending a direct physical signal to your brain that says, it's okay, we're safe.
So it's not a distraction, it's a biohack.
It is a biohack. You're literally changing your body's chemistry to get your full brain back online, not just the panicked reactive part.
Okay, so breathing is number one. What's next for grounding yourself?
Anchoring. Creating a physical or mental touch point to pull you back to the present moment.
So how do you do that without looking, weird in the middle of a meeting?
It's totally invisible.
Yeah.
A great physical anchor is just pressing your feet firmly into the floor. Just for a second, notice the feeling of your shoes on the ground. It yanks your attention out of the what-if spiral and back into the right now.
I like that. It's subtle. And a mental anchor.
That could just be silently repeating a simple phrase, something like, I'm prepared for this, or just, I'm here now. The goal is just to interrupt the fear loop.
Right. And another thing that happens in that fear loop is we speed up. We talk way too fast.
Oh, we rush everything. Our answers, our thoughts, everything. The advice here is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Give yourself permission to slow down.
We feel like any silence is failure, but it's not.
Not at all. A pause signals confidence. It's perfectly okay to take a breath before you answer. You can even use a little bridging phrase.
Like what?
That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment. It makes you look thoughtful, not nervous. And it buys you a few seconds to use that 4-4-6 breath and gather your thoughts.
And all of this is built on the best anchor of all, which is just doing the work beforehand, your preparation.
Absolutely. Preparation isn't just about having the answers. It's about building this deep internal well of trust in yourself. So when you panic, you can fall back on, wait, I've practiced this. I know my stories. I can trust myself.
Okay, so we're breathing, we're anchored, we're slowing down. Now for what feels like the most counterintuitive piece of advice. Shift your focus completely off yourself.
This is the big one. This is the trap that even the most prepared people fall into. When we get nervous, we turn all of our attention inward.
You start monitoring yourself. How am I sitting? Was that a dumb thing to say?
Exactly. And that self-monitoring uses up so much of your brain power. You're only operating at like half capacity for the actual conversation because the other half is busy critiquing your own performance.
So you're not even really there. You're just in your own head.
You're not. So the shift is to get aggressive about focusing on connection. Literally look at the person across from you. Make real eye contact. Listen to what they're really asking underneath the question.
Oh, wait, hold on. If I'm so focused on them, aren't I missing my chance to sell myself? I mean, isn't an interview all about self-promotion?
That's a great point, and it's a common fear. But you don't stop selling yourself. You just change how you sell. You shift from focusing on yourself to focusing on contribution.
So it's less look how great I am and more.
And more, look how I can help you. You start asking yourself, what value can I bring here? How can I solve the problem they're describing? When you're focused on that, you spend way less energy worrying about if you're good enough.
It totally changes the dynamic. It goes from being a test to being a collaboration.
A problem-solving session.
Precisely.
And the last piece of this is to just let go of trying to control the entire hour-long performance.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
So what's the goal instead?
The goal is to just focus on the next right thing. Just this moment, just this question, then the next one. You just have to nail the next 30 seconds.
I love that. It makes it so much more manageable.
Totally. It keeps you right here in the present.
Okay, but let's talk about when it happens, the inevitable. You stumble, you completely blank on a question, or you say something and immediately regret it. It happens to everyone.
It does. Perfection is a myth. The first rule here is what not to do. Do not spiral.
Right. Don't spend the rest of the interview replaying the mistake in your head.
Because all the energy you spend rerunning that mistake is energy you're not using to listen to the very next question. You're taking yourself out of the game.
So how do we stop that spiral, that internal voice that's saying, I blew it, it's over?
There's a little recovery protocol you can use. 3 simple steps. First, breathe. Use your 4-4-6. Do it right there.
Okay.
Second, just let it go. The moment is gone. You can't change it. And third, if you absolutely feel you need to, you can acknowledge it. But briefly.
What does that sound like? Sorry, I'm so nervous.
No, nothing like that. Don't apologize. Keep it neutral. Something like, let me rephrase that. Or I think I can give you a clearer answer.
Yeah.
And then you move on.
And the most important thing to remember here, I think, is that your mistake feels 100 times bigger to you than it does to them.
100 times. Absolutely. They're looking at the big picture, the overall impression. They've probably barely even registered it. One little stumble doesn't define the entire hour. You have to give yourself permission to recover and finish strong.
So, to bring this all together, we started with this crushing fear of the one shot. But it seems like the whole idea is to dismantle that by taking back control where you can.
Exactly. Reframe it from your only chance to one chance to do my best. Control your body with your breath. Anchor yourself in the room.
Yeah.
And deliberately slow your pace.
And then get out of your own head. Turn your focus outward to connection and contribution, not on your own performance.
And when you mess up, because you might, just have that recovery plan ready, breathe, let it go, and move forward. You are so much more resilient than your anxious brain gives you credit for in that moment.
That's such a powerful reminder.
And if you do have an interview or a big career moment coming up and you feel like you need some tactical one-on-one support for these high-pressure situations, WRAC Career Services offers comprehensive interview performance coaching. It's designed specifically for these challenges.
You can visit our website for more details on how we can help you turn that nervous energy into a really sharp focus.